Good evening. We are here, Black Star, still rising. And I'm your host, Stephen, Silver, Black Butterfly, Carter, any of the names that I go by in this long time I've been in Chicago. I am excited about this program today. First of all, gotta give credit to my our in-house, in-studio producers. And that's Imani Payne and Rocio Santos. They make us, my guests, and everybody comfortable, happy, keep the program going. Got to, of course, give the shout out to Black Star Project, founded by the late Philip Jackson and continued by the Jackson Freeney family. Gloria Smith, wherever you are, what city you are, I'm waving at you, Gloria. Wave back, all you folks there who are watching tonight. Glad to be a part of promoting the Black Star Project. I'm excited. I'm excited this evening. I'm excited about having a guest, and it's a kind of a pun intended, Gardis. I have Mr. Gardis Watts. Gardis is going to light up this place like, was it 1,000 watts that we can get? How many watts is there for Gardis? You know, Watts! He doesn't want to claim it, but he is an activist, but he doesn't like to use the term activist. He's going to tell you what he really is. But I'm also going to shout out to the South Shore Current and its editor. That is our editor. That's Lisa Dawn Taylor, founder of Black Star, not Black Star, but the South Shore Current, West of the Rhine Current, and the South Shore Current. Thank you for all our guests, our viewers at the Kroc Center and at the senior facility on 79th and Creek Gear. Oh, you folks, wave, are you still out there with me? You still with me? I'm so glad of that. Thank you for being with us tonight. Gardis, father, husband, uncle, son, all these things. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing besides being an activist, or as you call it,
a concerned citizen.
Concerned citizen. Now keep this in mind, folks. We are looking for, Gardis covers areas from intergenerational folks to octogenarians like me. And what Gardis does is show how you can be an actionist, as you put it, in your community that covers everything from your daughter at her age to the folks your age who just are getting your AARP card. Gardis, thank you for being with us. Tell us a little bit about you that you want to share with us.
Well, Gardis Watts, I am a native Chicagoan, grew up on the south side of Chicago.
South side?
Morgan Park.
Morgan Park.
Morgan Park High School graduate. Currently live in south suburbs, South Holland, with my wife and my daughter.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Now, I think what's going to be interesting to our audience, and that's what I was more concerned about, how you came to be an actionist versus an activist, and some of the circumstances that you got involved in taking part in your community.
Okay. Well, it's just basically kind of calling, responding to calls of different people who do, the work out in the grassroots movement out in the streets.
Grassroots is a good way to put it, yes.
So generally, when people need help, passing out flyers, doing standing patrol on somewhere, or even...
You're talking about some things I need some more information about, because you excited me when you tell me about how you got involved in the things like the standing guard. Tell me what happened with that standing guard.
Okay.
Because you're going to tell me certainly about some of the affiliations that you have that are both secular and non-secular, and I want to know about that too. The things that impacted you, the things and the organizations that impacted you. But go ahead, Gardis.
So what you're referring to is Watch Guard Chicago,
yes,
which was founded by Mr. Marquin McDonald.
Okay.
And there was a couple of years ago when the carjackings were going up.
Oh, we all remember that. Folks who were driving those Kias. Is that it? Okay, go.
No, it was more than that. It was basically armed carjackings.
Okay.
So he made a call out to a lot of us, including myself, to do gas station patrols on Saturdays.
What's involved with a gas station patrol?
So what he and a couple of people have found out, especially in the area where he lives in Bronzeville, was that carjackings typically happen between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. and
I'm kind of shocked.
Near gas stations.
I would think it was a later night, but tell me about
I
that.
was the same way too.
Okay.
So he decided to have two brothers at these gas stations in certain parts of the
You mean
area.
like African American brothers?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Certain parts of the area, and just kind of like monitor certain activities, making sure the people got their gases safely.
Did you have to be packing or what?
No, we weren't. And that's the whole thing. We were not armed.
You weren't vigilantes.
No, we were not vigilantes.
Okay.
We just basically was out there because Marquin, or we call him Q, just basically said that if men are present, then that would be a good way to kind of reduce crime.
In some way.
Yeah, it would deter crime in a lot of ways. So he just wanted the presence of men who are concerned out there, just kind of watching it. Now, if gunplay happened to happen,
would
then
you duck or what?
Well, we would call the police. Let the police handle it.
Okay. You didn't have to run for cover or anything like that. Huh?
But our job was to more kind of deter it from happening. Now, if it does happen, then we would step back and let the police handle it.
Now, tell me, were there any exciting kind of things that happened while you were on duty? What's the most exciting thing that happened?
Well, I mean, the most exciting thing that happened was somebody got aggressive, or they got a little hostile.
You can describe.
They got hostile towards the founder, Marquin, because me and him were patrolling a gas station on.
Do you walk around
35th.
at the time, or you stay in your car?
Sometimes we walk around if it's bad weather, and sometimes we kind of walk around if it's good. But somebody got a little aggressive with Marquin, and Q is a martial arts expert. He's also trained in firearms.
So he wasn't concerned at all, was he?
I was trying to save the other guy from getting,
he didn't know who he was messing with.
Yeah, I basically told him, you don't want that smoke.
You don't want that. Because he can light you up if need be.
Exactly.
Either physically or whatever he was packing that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was trying to save him.
That's good. That's the Christian in you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But tell me about some of the other things that got you to be involved, and some of the issues that got you involved in the community.
Okay, so another thing too is that, and we'll probably go into the non-secular within the church. So I am a practicing Catholic.
Okay. That's a good thing.
I go to predominantly Black Catholic churches.
So you can tell us which one we'll shout out. What we're going to shout out to?
I was raised at Holy Name of Mary Church.
I know where that is. It's Morgan Park?
Yes, Morgan Park. Okay. It's now Our Lady of Cabejo now, since they...
Cabejo? I didn't hear that.
Our Lady of Cabejo. Basically, the story is that the Virgin Mary visited a town in Rwanda called Cabejo.
As opposed to Guadalupe, the lady.
Yeah,
okay,
basically.
Go ahead. Okay.
So they named the church after that because there was a merger that happened.
That's one of the things that probably you were activists about, the closing of churches. We may touch upon that, just the closing of churches and the consolidation of churches in the city.
So about 20 years ago, there were roughly about 40 Black Catholic churches.
Okay. In the city?
Now there are 9.
Okay. 9 out of 40 left? Yeah. That kind of consolidation.
Yeah, that kind of consolidation. So it was a huge consolidation. Many Black people were leaving the church, and we kind of felt like the church was not, the institution was not really catering to the needs of our community. So
as an activist, because of that, what did you and what organizations within this secular branch of Chicago did you get involved?
So me and a couple of Tolton scholars. These are
You're one of those Tolton scholars?
Yes, I am a Tolton scholar.
Congratulations, my brother. Thank you. I meant to mention that. Go ahead.
We got together and basically kind of created this organization called the Chicago Black Catholics Alliance, where we kind of try to talk about and work for the concerns socially and spiritually of Black Chicago. So we're just basically concerned Black Catholics about Chicago.
So those spiritual concerns are non-denominational.
Yes.
Anybody can have spiritual concern for their neighborhood, their communities, whatever church affiliation they have, whether it's a church, a mosque, a temple, or whatever. That's the same kind of thing that happen that are shared by different churches. And that's, go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
So yeah, spiritual concerns is not limited to religion.
Yes.
It's not confined to religion.
Yes.
It's because, for me, the basic definition of spirituality is just basically believing something outside of yourself.
It's bigger than you.
That's bigger than you. That's all spirituality. That's the base meat of spirituality is. So
Gardis, you've given us a lesson in spirituality
Yeah.
and what that really means and how it applies across borders.
Yeah.
If we can speak about it that way.
And so our organization had created this newsletter called The Pulse of Black Catholic Chicago. And
where's that published? What's it called again? Give us
The Pulse of Black Catholic Chicago.
If folks wanted to subscribe to it or whatever, what would they do? Who would they call?
Well, right now we you could just we have a Facebook page.
Okay, do you know that? Can you share that with us?
It's the Chicago Black Catholics Alliance.
Repeat that again.
The Chicago
Yeah.
Black Catholics Alliance. That's you could go onto the page and register for the newsletter because it's electronic.
Okay.
Or you can email us at chicagoblackcatholics@gmail.com.
Repeat that part. Chicago Black Catholics.
Chicago Black Catholics.
Look at our camera. Tell them, all you folks, did you take down your pencil and paper and write down this? I tell you that every week. I don't have to keep reminding you. Get your pencil and paper out because it has some information we want to share. Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead, Gardis.
Chicago Black Catholics with an S, all one word, at gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about some of the works that you do that affect activism across borders.
Okay. So, along with this publication, we write articles that concern the Black community, Chicago community, and the Catholic community. So we range them in these three categories. They may be all together. They may be separate.
What are the categories now?
Black, Catholic, and Chicago.
Black Catholic. Okay, go ahead.
So we write articles and pieces about the concerns of these three categories and identities.
Is that the same organization that Tina L. Carter?
Yes, Tina Carter is part of
the regional librarian at 35th and King Drive.
She is the co-founder.
Oh,
she is one of the co-founders of our group.
You stepping with some folks in high cotton if you stepping with Tina Carter.
Yeah, she's a very intelligent
Disclaimer,
person.
She is not a relative that we have discovered yet. I just met her last week. Mm-hmm. In fact, that's how you came to my attention because she highly recommended you. Tina, thank you for watching tonight and thank you for bringing Gardis to me to have him here today. But we're going to have you on the show too because I know there's some things that you want to talk about with the public libraries. Mm-hmm. With you being a regional director, I'm looking forward to having you on the show. All right? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Gardis. Tina's she's like a big sister to me. So yeah.
How old is she? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not.
I know we won't do that. You know better than I should know better, right?
But our organization basically deals with the social and spiritual issues, of those three identities that I mentioned, and we also do things within the 9 rims of our parishes because another reason why our organization got together was because. As a collaborative of the 9 remaining Black Catholic parishes.
What's left in those parishes? I think I'm probably familiar with because, disclaimer, Corpus Christi, cradle to grave Catholic, if I can put it that way. Spent all of my first 9 years of life at Corpus Christi at 49th and South Park then, King Drive now. So go ahead, please tell us about the other churches.
But the thing was that in order for us to survive, we need to collaborate more within these 9
and
Black Catholic
collaborate
parishes.
On what issues?
Well, basically ministries that these parishes have, we need to get together and support these ministries. Just generally supporting each other as a church. Because sometimes one of our failures has been we've been in these parishes as silos. And we don't support.
We're separate.
We're separate.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is one of the ways where we can kind of collaborate together. So if something's going on at at my parish, which is Our Lady of Africa.
That's the old holy. Go ahead.
The old Holy Angels.
Old holy angels, still for all of us, holy angels gonna be holy angels. Go ahead.
So we kind of like invite, like this is a way to kind of invite certain people from other parishes to come and join us, and we try to put on these programs that invite all of the Black Catholic parishes. So last year we did a revival, a Black Catholic revival, which hasn't been done since I think it's 2010 was the last time.
Where was it at? And what was the reception to that revival? Because I was involved probably back in 2010 with that revival. You could tell us about how that was received and how engaging it was.
So back in October, we did a 3-day revival. It was held at St. Simon of Cyrene, which is the old St. Margaret, not St. Margaret.
St. Margaret Scotland.
St. Martin de Porres, which is on, I think, Washington. On
the west side.
Yes, on the west side.
With the basilica.
Yeah.
That old, beautiful basilica over there. Yes.
The second night, it was at Our Lady of Africa, the former Holy Angels.
Okay.
And
what was the closing night?
And the closing night was at St. Sabina.
Oh, with Mike Flazer.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know that was a grand night. Okay.
And the reception was very, very well. It was very well received. We are actually planning to do this every 2 years.
Okay.
So many people were asking if we were going to do one this year. We said we'll take a break because we want to make it bigger the next time.
Okay, audience, are you listening? They want to make it bigger. Many people want to make it bigger. Be the activist that's within you to be. Tell Gardis. Call me, 312-662-3106. I'll make sure you get in contact with Gardis Watts. He is the 1,000-watt bulb that lights up a community and keeps activists going. But we want to hear from you so that he knows that you are supporting him and what needs to be done. Now, let me ask you this. You might be delicate. Did you have to conflict with the cardinal about any of this? So whatever you feel comfortable in talking about so you don't get boycotted.
Well, not necessarily the cardinal.
Okay.
But there were some people within
we won't name names.
The archdiocese that were kind of
guilty.
That were kind of reluctant to support us, but we got the support of the community. So,
wait a minute. You got to support where it really counts with the community because you are action. You're an action person. You connect with the community.
Yeah,
that's critical.
And it was basically all about relationships because for one to connect with the community, you got to have relationships.
Okay.
We were able to do this big revival with very limited resources.
I mean, nobody gave you any money. You had to do it all pretty much.
Well, I mean, no, we did get money. However, we were hoping that the archdiocese would, back us, financially, but that didn't happen. So we were able to leverage relationships we had with other people to
Cardinal Kupich. Keep this in mind. This organization needs some of the money coming from the diocese. You can tell them that. Give you the money that your organization needs for this revival. When do you want to put it on? Tell us when.
We want to put it on 2025.
2025. Are you going to open it at the Obama Center, or where are you going to have it?
Well, we will be discussing it soon. So yeah, 2025, probably around the same time, October.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want your involvement. We want your engagement. All you folks who are listening better take down this information. And octogenarians like me, right? Tell me this if I'm correct. Teenagers like your daughter Genesis. That range of folks have to start to become involved. Tell me how you got your daughter Genesis involved to be, or at least beginning activism. Was that like pulling hen's teeth or what?
Well, I mean, my daughter used to travel with me as a young child to meetings that I attend to.
She hung with Daddy.
Yeah, she hung with Daddy for a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, but then as she becomes a teenager, she
they
wants
do
to
the teenage kind of thing.
But even in her own school, so she is in the Black Student Union.
Where's she in school at?
Marist.
Marist.
Yeah.
Oh, on the west side, southwest side, right?
Yeah, it's like south. Yeah, about south off Pulaski.
So tell her, get those folks at Marist involved. She can do that.
Yeah.
I tell my granddaughter who was at St. Ignatius, got to get the folks involved. She's in the DEI at St. Ignatius, so there's a place for young folks in activism.
And she wants to go to an HBCU.
Man, if I knew what I knew now, that's where I would have been at Howard or Morehouse instead of Marquette University.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, if I had known about BCUs and the impact and support that you got from the HBCUs.
Yeah.
But
she wants to be. Yeah, she wants to go.
Which one did she start to pick out one yet? You can give a shout out if you want to.
Well, right now she's thinking about 2 schools. She's thinking about Clark Atlanta and Florida.
I know there's some Clark Atlanta folks listening tonight. Get in touch with Gardis and make his daughter Genesis one of your prime recruits that you want to get, right?
Yeah.
Scholarship money too?
She yeah, please. I will take all scholarship money.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Now tell us a little bit. We got about 5 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about some of the projects you envision happening with any of them, from the Knights of St. Peter Claver, or the things that you want our audience, our listening audience, our viewing audience to know about. Activities that are coming up and how they can get in touch with you. What are some of the most, or talk about the most pressing things that you see as an actionist in the community.
Okay. So as far as the Chicago Black Catholics Alliance, we actually have well, I wouldn't call it a webinar, but it's a virtual lecture on Zoom.
Okay. How do they get into that?
If you go to the Chicago Black Catholic Alliance Facebook page, we have an advertisement for it. It's a lecture given by Dr. Cecilia Moore.
Okay.
She is
she out of Chicago or where?
No, she's a professor at the University of Dayton.
Okay.
She's one of the preeminent Black Catholic historians.
So you ain't talking about no little people. You're talking about some big shots in the church that know their way around.
And she will be talking about Ralph Metcalf.
Oh, my brother, Marquette man. Like
Ralph
me,
Metcalf,
right.
who was Catholic
Yes,
and actually went to Corpus Christi.
Yep, I know. My parish. Right, what can I say?
So as she was doing research on it, and she found out, I guess she found some papers or some information about Ralph Metcalf's deep introspective on his faith in Catholicism. So she will be giving a presentation on that, and you can on the advertisement you can register to get the Zoom link as well. So I think that'll be an interesting lecture. It'll be May 16th.
May 16th
at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. And where's it going to be?
It's going to be on Zoom.
On Zoom. Okay.
So if you register for it, you will get forwarded the link to your email.
Got some exciting things coming up. And Ralph Metcalf, as many of you know, put his faith into action in Chicago politics when he made that break with the establishment and came to support Harold and all the things that were happening within the city of Chicago and within the political realm. He made faith and action a part of what he did in life that affected the community. What's been the biggest things that affected you in terms of your faith that got you and continue to get you involved with the communities?
Well, the institution of the church, it somewhat mirrors what we see in the secular realm.
Okay.
And it mirrors too many of the negative things that is in the secular realm. And so the church is actually supposed to be a model of what society is, but it seems like it's mirroring what society is now.
Instead of being the model for what it should be.
Instead of being the model for what it should be. And this is not just the Catholic Church. This is all churches.
Oh, no, I do understand that. Tell us what folks like me in the octogenarian age, what you think we should be doing in terms of during this tumultuous 2024 year, and I won't go into details, but many of you know what we're going to be going through. What should seniors like me, but also what should be the younger generation be doing to stay involved with things that impact the life of the community?
Well, the one thing is be active in meetings, whether it be village meetings, local neighborhood meetings, school board meetings. And just get yourselves involved in it. This ranges from teenagers all the way to octogenarians. Be involved.
And the folks in between
speak
like
out.
you?
Yes, speak out.
Okay.
And also too for our elders, make sure that you are.
You know, you said the right word.
Yes.
You said elders, not elderly.
Yeah.
We're older, but not old. Keep that in mind. That's our byword. Older, not old. Elders, not elderly. Go ahead.
Yeah, make sure as elders you school the generation before you and even the younger ones, because we look for that wisdom. You know, we look for that wisdom from the elders, and the best way to do it is to do it in love.
And it's not too late. They can be involved. Whatever you do, we're wrapping up now. But I want you elders, you folks, to be involved. Know people. Get to know people like Gardis Watts, who lights up his neighborhood, who lights up his community, and who's been a big part. It's not too late for you elders and older folks who are getting older to be involved. And you got to be involved. It's things that are too important. The wisdom of the elders has to be brought out, right?
Yes.
Has to be.
Must be brought out.
Okay. Last words. You get the chance to say the last words. Anything you want to tell is shout out before we close off, before we wrap. You got 2 minutes.
Just
2 seconds.
God bless everybody.
All right, that works. A blessing to all you folks who watched today. Thank you for tuning in. Next week, don't have time to tell you all about what next week, but be sure, 5:30 Tuesday. Tell your folks. Can TV Channel 21. Pass it on. Viva voce. It means pass it on. Thank you for this lovely evening. Gardis, my brother.